to have integrity in elections, you have to have information integrity, right? If the voter does not understand her issues and her choices, then she can't make a free vote. So information integrity is very, very important. And today, with the rapid development, the speed and the volume that we receive information from social media programs, through the internet, as well as through traditional media and other traditional sources, being able to sort out what is valid information from what is manipulated or bad information becomes a very critical challenge for every sector, including for the election administration. In the long term, it's up to the citizen and the educational system so that they can understand what it means to be government and why the government actually has its power for the benefit of the people, like the Constitution of Mexico tells us. The citizen has to know how to be critical in listening to information. In the shorter term, the media, the mass media and traditional media have to set up ways where they can verify whether information is accurate or whether the information is false. It has to be done much more rapidly than was done in the past. And there have to be specialists. There are organizations, even in Mexico, like Animal Politico, that have their Verificado 18 and other kinds of activities to do fact-checking. And then I haven't mentioned, of course, the social media platforms themselves. Facebook, Twitter, Google, WhatsApp, all of these platforms have a responsibility. They can't just operate and make their profits with no responsibility to the citizens. They have to be able to look at what is the source of these informations, identify when it is bad, tag it for people. They have to be able to make their data available to legitimate researchers with the risks that go with that, because the illegitimate ones will hack, gain the information, and use it, like we're hearing now of Cambridge Analytica and other such things. Yeah, I think the advice is old advice. You know, every citizen has to be careful when they hear something. Bad news especially gets our attention, and we're very quick to try to repeat this to our friends. But when the bad news has an effect on the country, on your choice of who might be in government, it has an effect on whether you believe that the election process is authentic or whether it's been fraud. That news is very important to be cautious and to go back and to check your sources, even if it's your best friend or your best friend's Facebook posting or your WhatsApp group with your best friends. You need to go back and check the sources. You need to become critical consumers, just like when you want to buy a car. The electoral authorities have both short-term and long-term responsibilities as well. In the long term, the electoral authorities like the National Electoral Institute, the INE, have to be able to make accurate information available to the public. So open electoral data principles mean that the critical information about the voters list, about the transmission of results and other such things have to be made available for verification, and so there's confidence. They have to engage with various groups in doing voter education and civic education around these things. These are the longer term activities, but they have to be very quick as well. They have to really follow the social media. They really have to have a rapid response capacity in their public outreach. Other countries have made their electoral data very open. We can look, for example, to South Africa or Indonesia or Canada or New Zealand and in Europe, where there are ways to improve even how the INE does these sorts of things. And also the citizens, the media, and the civic groups. In France, the political parties stepped forward to meet their responsibility to secure their data so that they could not be hacked. The government put in place also looking through the intelligence agencies and others, whether there were foreign governments that were trying to interfere with disinformation, hacking, and other kinds of activities. The news media made a coalition. They had together collaborated in order to be able to fact check and verify and send out information. So any citizen could send to them something they received on social media and say, is this true or is this false? They would get an answer, but then the important ones would be posted.